You know, the recent floods have caused hundreds of people to lose everything, even more than that. And there are ways to protect some of your most important personal items. And our next guest is Darrell Harden. He says he lost just about everything during Hurricane Katrina. However, he relocated to Memphis and he started a new life, a business aimed at giving people the opportunity to store their items electronically. And with all these floods, we certainly know what a major loss can feel like. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, let me first ask you, how long did it take you to get back on your feet?
It took me approximately 3 years to get back on my feet.
Wow.
It took a while. We had to bounce around a bit and kind of figure our way and decide where we were going to stay. So it took about 3 years.
How do you get through that emotionally and physically?
It's very difficult, because you lose so much, you forget what you lose.
Yeah.
And you kind of get lost in between today, yesterday, and tomorrow.
Right.
So time, it heals all.
Yeah, it sure does. All right, and then somehow you were able to muster up energy and create your own business. You got the power back in you.
That's right.
And your business is called Memphis Paper Exchange. And this is for people who you store everything, your personal items, and even doctors' offices and things of that sort. Is that what you focus on, and do it electronically, right?
Absolutely. We focus on, I started the business to help people, just everyday people like myself, to protect their precious memories, pictures, deeds, passports, you name it. But also, doctors, there's a regulation that's coming down in 2012, 2013, they have to move to digital. Mm-hmm. So a large part of what we do is we help doctors convert that paper into a digital document that can be managed into a digital management service, if you will.
So how in the world do you do that? That must take forever and a day.
It does. It's quite time consuming, and the tough part about it is the preparation.
Yeah.
Scanning the documents, that's not necessarily a problem, but you have to pull out gallons of staples and tons of paper clips just to prepare the documents for the scanning process. And it takes a couple of weeks at times, depending on how many records the doctor has.
And then do you go to their office, or do they come to you, or how does that all work?
With doctors, attorneys, and the financial community, we have to go on site.
Okay.
Because of regulations, the HIPAA regulations,
right.
And there's other regulations that keep us from removing documents from the premises, so we do it on site.
That. All right, let's talk about people at home. And these are some of Darrell's wedding photos. And I don't know if you can necessarily see them up close, but this is what happens, obviously, when the floodwaters hit your personal things. Smeared, you can't see them, but you still get a little bit of a vision of what they are. But this is some of the things, these are some of the important documents that you want to help people save.
That's right.
And what do you store these kind of documents on?
Well, actually, we have three types of media that we use. One is a thumb drive, usually around 5 gigabytes, and it can hold pretty much anything anyone has in their personal home with regards to pictures, passports, financial documents, tax documents, wedding certificates, baptismal, you name it.
Okay.
If they choose. Mm-hmm. Then second, we use CDs. Some people, they just want to archive their information. They don't want to necessarily use it again, so we use a CD, or we can do it in the office while you wait. And thirdly, for those physicians you mentioned earlier, mm-hmm. that have tons, hundreds and thousands of documents, we use what's called a 2 terabyte external hard drive. It can hold a ton of information, and that's why we use it. It's very safe. It's password protected.
Okay.
And the fourth medium that we use, some people are comfortable with it, some people are not, is we can store your documents on the internet.
Okay.
In a safe, virtualized location that can be recalled anywhere in the world. And it's safe from fire, flood, natural disaster.
Yeah, I could see why people would be a little leery of that.
Yes.
But we all have to get over it, I suppose. I guess I'm note to self, because I am so old school, I still like to keep things in lock boxes. But you could always keep this, too, as in a lock box, and you should.
Well, most people do, they'll take these items and put them in a fireproof safe.
Right.
Which is fine. But again, to be ultimately prepared and ready for anything that happens, we have to deal with the internet. We have to park it on the internet.
And let me ask you this, because they are giving up so much personal information. And when I say that, I think offices, doctors, and things of that sort, they have certain ways of protecting themselves. But families and things of that may seem a little vulnerable or may feel vulnerable. How do they know that their information is not being taken? How do you secure it? Meaning, when they hand it over to you, how do they know you're the person that's okay with handling their information?
Usually what happens is myself or someone from my organization will go out and do a pickup if they want it picked up, or they can come to the office and drop it off. We give a receipt for the documents, and if they so choose, we have the capability to record what we do with the documents and how we handle the documents. For example, if we receive a box, we will record us opening the box,
Okay.
prepping the box, scanning the box, putting the documents back in the box, and putting safety tape on the box, and then at that time we will notify the owner of the documents that he or she can come and get them.
Interesting. And then, so for somebody who owns a home, husband, wife, with kids, how much would this scanning process cost?
That's a great question. We use banker's boxes as a great benchmark for pricing. A banker's box, $29. You can have 5 documents in it or 5,000 documents in it. We do not care. It's $29. You can either bring it by our office.
Okay.
We'll come and pick it up. We'll scan it. Once we finish, we'll put safety tape on it and notify you that it's ready.
All right. And then same for offices, or how does that work?
Same for offices. However, it is like economies of scale.
Sure.
Depending on how many documents. For example, I just recently completed a project for a physician, 250,000 documents. That would be considered a bulk scanning situation.
Sure.
And the price varies a little bit because there's a lot of preparation involved, but basically the same.
Okay.
It'll equal out to like $29.95 a box.
How many cases have you handled since you started your business?
Thousands.
Thousands?
Thousands. I mean, for example, I can't speak in detail, but for some attorneys, one particular divorce case was 500 boxes.
Oh my gosh!
One box. one case, I mean.
Oh Lord!
One case.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. This is very interesting. And for more information, of course, you can always go to abc24.com. And again, his name of his business is Memphis Paper Exchange. Well, hey there. Welcome back. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital is